What's up, everyone? Well, today we will be reviewing, this is it, everyone, Justice League. The finale of me reviewing the DCU has finally come at last. I know that I've been freaking doing this DCU thing, and I've reviewed every single one so far. Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, and now we're at the final one that has came out recently, Justice League. So this isn't going to be the final DCU movie that I review, but this is going to be the final one that I do that before any of the new ones come out. So I'm freaking excited. Let's go ahead and have a recap. So we had Man of Steel, which was a very fun, simple superhero movie with a few flaws, which made it come in a 4 out of 5. We had Batman v Superman, too much crap in it, too much stuff that they were trying to set up, and overall it had a lot of flaws, even though the action was good and the characters were alright, which is why it came in, and was it a 2 out of 5 or a 3 out of 5? I have no idea. And then we have Suicide Squad, which is my least favorite out of all of them. Basically the story sucked. The characters weren't really that great, and overall it just came in 2 out of 5. Then we had Wonder Woman with great action, great humor, and a great story and a great character, which came in at a 4 out of 5. And now we're at the final one, Justice League. So without hesitating, let's get into the Justice League. So let's start off with the plot. So a few years after Batman v Superman, wait, was it a few months? I legit did not pay attention. So anyways, after the events of Batman v Superman, Batman has been going paranoid after a premonition that he had back in Batman v Superman. So he's just hunting down a criminal when all of a sudden a giant alien monster comes after him and tries to kill him, but then Batman defeats it like the awesome crap he is. But it turns out that the alien is not, that the alien race, the premonition that he had, it's gonna come true. So he has to assemble a team that will help fight all of these alien monsters. So he goes out to assemble all of the DC superheroes that we've grown to love. Well, 2 of them that we've grown to love, because 3 of them haven't even been set up yet. Thus, the Justice League is being born. So that's the plot, and let me go ahead and get to my favorite part about the movie, the characters. So I think the Avengers is better than Justice League, no doubt. Well, I mean, movie-wise, not comic-wise. But I think that the Justice League are better characters than the MCU. Yep. That's right. I think that these characters are more fun to watch and more entertaining. Let me explain why. So you have my boy, my favorite superhero of all time, Batman, who's the same as always. He's dark, he's brooding, but however, he has felt guilt over Superman dying, and he thinks that it's his responsibility to bring him back. And you see basically that coming back from the movie. Like, even though he was very dark and brutal in Batman v Superman, you see that he's more light now, and he's like not really as dark, and he's has some of his compassion back, and it makes him feel more human, which is why it's cool how he's portrayed in this movie. You have Wonder Woman, who's always trying to do the right thing. You know, it's the typical heroine from Wonder Woman, the awesome Wonder Woman. And then you have Cyborg, who's being set up as this tormented guy. He even broods more than freaking Batman. He's just outright just an outcast, and he doesn't really like living like that. So he thinks that he can do some good by joining the Justice League. You have Aquaman, who's the most reluctant out of the group to even join. But after his kingdom is in danger, he decides to join the Justice League and help fight crime, and he's the comic relief of this movie, along with my boy Flash, who is outright the youngest member and is like the goofy guy. He reminds me of Spider-Man a lot. He's the main comic relief along with Aquaman, and outright he's sort of inexperienced and immature when it comes to his powers, but he would do whatever it takes to do the right thing. And I love that about all these characters. And like my favorite part about all of them is that they function well as a group. They bounce off each other with amazing interactions, and it's just fun to watch. And then we have the humor. The humor from Wonder Woman is making a return to this movie. As I said, it's not forced like Suicide Squad's humor. It's just like the MCU's humor. The humor is just there, it flows, it's clever, and it works, which is how humor should be. Then you have action. Oh my goodness, the action in this movie is just fun. It's just great. The CGI is great. The choreographing fighting is great. However, there is just one problem about the action scenes, which I think it needs to be addressed. Batman gets his butt kicked in every single scene he's in. I get it. Batman is teamed up with a bunch of superhumans. Like, he does not have any superpowers. He's a normal man with normal gadgets. I get that. But he's still Batman. You can't just have Batman getting kicked around and just tossed around like by alien creatures. I mean, I get it. He's not as strong as the others, but I mean, he's the Batman. He finds a way. He fights whatever is with him. You see, the Justice League cartoons always does a great job as making Batman feel human, but always making it work, because Batman always has a plan. He's the smartest out of the group. He always knows what he's doing, and whenever danger is around that he cannot face, he has a very clever way of avoiding it. And here, he just gets thrown to the ground every 5 seconds. That's not how Batman should be. If this was realistic, he'd be in the background throwing batarangs at them, or like forming a strategy with the team, not just rushing in, punching, and getting just outright kicked. And I just think that Batman was not portrayed how I want him to be in this movie. First, he was a murderous psychopath in Batman v Superman, and now he can't even fight one alien without being like hurt to the ground. And I did not like that about Batman in this movie. And then there's always that one fatal flaw in every single DCU movie other than Wonder Woman and Man of Steel. You guys know what I'm talking about. This flaw is in Suicide Squad, Justice League, and especially in Batman v Superman. You guys know what I'm talking about. The overcomplicated plot. Oh my goodness, why is this plot why is this setting up so much? I get it. This is Justice League. This is supposed to be setting up so much. This is the huge turning point in the DCU. This is where everything comes together. This is like the huge movie. But one thing I don't understand is how, why is, okay, so basically the villain Steppenwolf, which I forgot to mention because he's so forgettable. Yeah, Steppenwolf, he doesn't really add any awesome stuff in this movie. He's just the main bad guy that Justice League has to defeat. But basically there's so much background stuff of the Amazonians and what do they call it, mermaids. I'm just gonna call him the Mermaid Man, whoever the Aquaman group is called, and basically there's just so much backstory with them, and even at one point they were setting up the Green Lanterns. And overall, I just think that it should have been a simple movie, and just like have it to where everybody doesn't need to learn everything and doesn't make us feel like we're in math class. Let us just be able to watch a movie, understand everything that's going on, instead of having to guess every few seconds. Oh, this is going on. Oh, but that's going on. Oh, this is relates to that. Oh, but that is this. No, that's stupid. And the Avengers movie, sure, there was a lot of stuff going on, but here's the thing though. We know all of it because we've watched all the other movies, and all the other movies have explained it to us in perfect detail. Here, we've only had 4 movies that does not explain half the stuff that this plot evolves around, which makes it confusing to people to try to keep up with everything the movie's trying to set up and establish to people. So overall, that's the one fatal flaw in this movie. Overall, I think that this movie was probably my favorite out of all of them. You guys are probably wondering why. Well, it's because, as I said, the action is great, the characters are so entertaining, and I just think that it was more entertaining than Wonder Woman. I think that Wonder Woman is more good, but this one is more entertaining to watch, especially since it has my boy Batman in it, which is why Justice League comes in, you guys guessed it, at a 5 out of 5. Yeah, I know that's too much giving Justice League. I know that it wasn't a masterpiece, but it was to me. But I think that it was a very great movie to watch, and that's all that matters to me. It doesn't matter if the movie has some flaws about it, as long as I like watching it. Even if it's a bad movie, as long as I like watching it, then I'll give it a good rating. Well, I mean, this movie wasn't bad, so that's why I gave it a good. This is basically my prime example. If I'm watching a bad movie, like say Halloween 2, but I have a good time watching it because it's bad, I'm not going to give it a good rating. I'm going to give it like a 2. But if I'm watching a good movie like Justice League that has a tiny flaws holding it back, but you can't pay attention to all that because the movie is just overall entertaining, then I'm going to give it a good rating. And I think that Justice League deserves a 5 out of 5. It has great effort. It is sad that it was a box office bomb when it came out, but hopefully the DCU can turn this around with the Batgirl movie coming out along with the Joker standalone movie, the Flashpoint movie, and the Justice League series and all that other stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.